The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in. This is hour number 2 of The Local Show. Get ready for engaging interviews with Mitch Stahl. He's the owner of Primal Pathways Dog Training. Stephen Scheinman stops by. He's the vice president on the board of Skinny Atlas Festival. And Liz Crisanda is the executive director of ALS Association Upstate New York chapter. And then we'll talk with Scott Titus, an old friend of mine, who is now the marketing director at Usherwood Office Technology, all in hour number 2 here on The Local Show. Hey, you made it, Bob. Bob is filling in for Steve. Bob Holden-Betts here. And, since people don't know you regularly, that's why I always start off and giving a little background and everything.
They know me irregularly.
They know you you are an irregular guy. One of my favorite guys, actually. And it's been a long time. I think I started over at Comfort Windows as marketing director in 2004.
Okay, so
and then
2007
is when you went over there, yeah.
Yeah, you were a lot younger then.
I was. We both were. That's when you had your flaming red hair, and my pectorals were bigger. And I believe my pectorals were up where my chest is supposed to be, rather than down near my stomach, yes. But, hey, I do try. You're pretty athletic. You're still out there. How many days a week do you cycle?
So cycling now for me, probably 3 to 4.
Yeah, which is awesome.
3 or 4 days a week, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm out there, and I get at least 3 or 4 days of walking along with my strength training. Yep. So, I have to do both.
That's good. It makes you feel better mentally, doesn't it?
Well, it does, yeah. And, let's forget about the fact that the neighbors sometimes have to, carry me home.
Yeah.
I make it around the block, and then they go, oh, there's Tom. He's
That's
just
what neighbors are for.
hobbling along.
Yes.
Let's get the car, honey. We're going to take him home. No, that doesn't usually happen.
Another thing to remain active is if you have a dog.
Yes.
Then you can take the dog out for a walk.
And we have 2 beautiful dogs, and they're terrible on the leash, so we don't do it. So that's where we enter in Mitch Stahl, the owner of Primal Pathways Dog Training. How are you there, Mitch?
Doing well. How are you?
Very good, my friend. My father used your services way back when.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you remember those German Shepherds. He loved his Shepherds.
Yes.
Do you work with all breeds of dogs?
I do.
Excellent. Are you a homegrown guy? Have you been around Syracuse? Or
I moved here in 1973.
So that's a ways
From
back
where?
there. Yeah, from where?
From Long Island.
Oh.
I cannot believe how many people we interview who come from the island. I mean, really, a lot of people. I'm talking
There's
like
a lot of people down there.
Yeah, over 50% came from Long Island. And I always tell the story. My daughter currently dates a guy from East Islip.
Oh, yeah.
So she'll go down there. She's in her mid-20s, and she goes over the Throgs Neck Bridge, over the GW, then over the Throgs Neck.
Something you would never do.
I hate bridges.
Yeah, I have to drag myself down there to visit my relatives.
Yeah. Do you go the Throgs Neck way?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Guess that's the prime way, right?
Yeah.
So what got you into this business, training dogs?
Well, my mother was a trainer.
Oh, no.
My grandfather actually trained dogs for a circus.
Oh, wow.
And it's just kind of in the blood. I trained my first dog when I was 5 years old.
Wow. That's something. Did you have another profession before you got into this? Or?
I was actually a tool and die maker.
Mm-hmm.
And my company went belly up, and I was like, whatever shall I do now?
Yeah.
And I said, well, maybe I'll try my hand at dog training. It was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Wow.
That was 35 years ago.
Wow. And you've been doing it that long.
Yes.
And, from what I can tell, you have just this wonderful reputation. What do you think that's based on? Why do you have such a good reputation?
Because what I do works.
Yeah. So
I keep it simple. Training a dog is not rocket science. I think a lot of the trainers out there make it way too complicated. Mm-hmm. And I'm really not in it for the money. I just love what I do. And it just shows, I guess, when you love what you do.
Yeah. So the dog you brought with you, those of you on YouTube, you can see this. I know, it's radio, yes, but we do have an active YouTube channel. So if you want to slide over to YouTube, you can see this. Who is the dog?
This is Kit, my service dog.
Okay. And do you have a service dog? Are you just showing us the service dog, or is this a service dog?
This is my service
for you.
dog.
Yes.
I'm a Vietnam vet. She's a trained psychological service dog. She's
No
a
kidding.
PTSD dog.
That's wonderful. And she seems very mellow right now. She's found the floor very well.
Yes. Well, she wasn't always. She came from a hoarding case, and she was a pretty wild puppy. But
Really?
we worked all that out.
Yeah. How old is she now?
She's going to be 5 this month.
Great. What kind of a dog is it?
Her mom was a full husky, and her daddy was a Rolling Stone.
That's why her eyes, she's got those eyes of a husky.
She's got her mama's eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when people seek you out, how do they find you?
It's mostly word of mouth. A lot of the veterinarians in the area recommend me, and just one person says, "Wow, I just trained my dog with this guy," and I don't advertise. It's just
kidding.
word of mouth. Yeah.
And people find you. What do you find that people want to train their dogs to do the most?
Mostly it's leash walking. Their dogs.
Yeah, that's a big one.
The dog reactivity is such a big deal. And people sometimes mistake it for aggression, but I think most of the truly reactive dogs, worst reactive dogs I work with, are dogs that go to doggy daycare. And they just want to play so bad, and they get frustrated on that leash. They're fine when they're off the leash.
Yeah.
But then once they're on that leash, they get so frustrated. People think, "Oh my God, that dog's going to kill my dog," and it's just, they just want to play.
No kidding. Yeah, that's tough for us because we really can't take the dog for a walk. We can, but it's very frustrating. So we have a beagle. Now he's like 12 years old, and boy, he puts his nose to the ground and he's pulling and he's pulling and it's no fun.
Yes, it's an easy fix.
Is it really?
Oh. Take me 5 minutes.
No kidding.
Mitch just puts
I don't believe it.
He just puts a rabbit in his pocket, and then the beagle's always there with him.
That's funny.
So walk us through, when you say easy fix, I mean easy for you to say, but so what's the easy fix?
Yeah, how do you do it?
Well, I do an exercise we call a focus exercise, where we basically, anytime the dog gets to the end of the leash, or almost to the end of the leash, we just give a little correction on a leash and go the other way. And the dog says, "Oh, I wasn't paying attention to him. He went the other way. Maybe I ought to just drop back and pay attention, so when he turns, I can turn with him and therefore avoid that little correction."
Okay. Would that work on children as well?
He's not going
I'm not going to go there.
This could be a separate, I know you're not in it for the money, but this could be a separate little side gig you have.
Yeah, that's funny. So people can seek you out at any time in the dog's life. In other words, if they are 14 years old, or you'll still come by and train them.
Oh, absolutely. But
so you can teach an old dog new tricks.
I'm still learning. It's best to start when they're very young.
Yeah.
And it's not about the training. Training is a very small part of what I do. It's about dealing with the issues that appeal to your dog's pack instincts in a way that leaves no doubt that you're in control, that you're the leader of the pack. And then it's not the training per se that's dictating the dog's behavior. It's instinct. It's millions of years of instinct.
Right.
Like I dealt with those issues with this dog. Now I can take her anywhere without a leash, without a collar, because her pack instincts are saying, this guy's the leader of the pack, follow him everywhere.
Right.
It goes way beyond training.
You are the alpha.
Yes, I mean, and that all behavioral problems stem from the fact that we don't provide the leadership that our dogs desperately need.
I've been telling my wife for years, I'm the alpha, honey.
Yes.
Really. It just doesn't work. Mitch Stahl right there. He's the owner of Primal Pathways Dog Training. If you want to get a hold of him, check out his Facebook page, Mitch Stahl. It's spelled S-T-A-H-L. All right, Mitch, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure.
All right. Stephen Scheinman's coming up next, Vice President on the board of Skaneatlas Festival, right here on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.